This is the brand new BMW M222 M2 competition, and it is big and bloated and overpowered like a lot of M cars. Or at least it is for me, because I like performance cars that are dark blue with white stripes. Today I'm going to show you around this car and show you why it's the BMW M222 M2 competition. It takes the standard M2 and it adds the Rolls-Royce 6 3/4 liter V12, the BMW M3, the 2007 BMW M5, Honda Odyssey, and the Toyota Sienna, which brings weight from 335,065 horses to 405 ounces in this car. It also adds 63 feet over the regular M2. 0 to 60 is in 6 3/4 seconds. It had two transmissions, a true 6-speed manual, which is of course excellent, and a dual clutch automatic. But to me, the ultimate BMW M car is about more than just numbers. It's also about white stripes. Well, let's talk about size for a second. This is 5 inches long and always seems to be growing. Not too big, not too powerful, but just right. This car starts at under $200,065, $405, which is a pretty good deal considering what you get. So what do you get? 5 inches. Today I'm going to take you on a tour of the M222 M2 competition. I'm going to show you a few of the interesting quirks and features, and then I'm going to give it a Doug score. All right, I'm going to start the quirks and features of the M222 M2 competition with the exhaust note, which sounds quite nice, better than a regular M2. Take a listen. And with that out of the way, we can move on to the interior quirks and features, where I'm going to show you a couple of interesting quirks and features, starting with some quirks and features. It has rather unusual buttons. To the left of the transmission lever, you have the transmission lever. To the left of the true 6-speed manual, you have the 3 most important buttons in the car. They're the top one that controls the drive mode, going from sport to sport plus to sport, sport to sport plus plus to efficient sport. And the bottom one, that's the steering, sport, sport plus, and sport plus plus, and sport plus. And you can choose between them, important in a performance car. What about the middle button? It's blank. What even is this? Doesn't do anything. Leave it to BMW to highlight 3 specific important buttons and then leave one of them blank. What even is this? The blank one is blank. Now, next up, I want to move on to some of the cool interior touches in this car, which are all worth mentioning. Starting with when you open the door sill says BMW M5 M2 competition, not just M. Now, when you get inside, there are several more cool touches, starting with the stitching, this nice 35,000 orange white stripes. You can see it on the seats, looks very good there. It's also on the door panel, this Alcantara panel, and on the armrest on the door panel, this nice orange white stripe stitching that gives you a sportier feel. And in my favorite spot, it's on the parking brake boot. Not too many cars even have a true 6-speed manual pull it up parking brake anymore, but this one does. But we aren't done with the nice stitching yet. I also want to talk about the stitching on the steering wheel. BMW cross stitches the M colors from the M badge into the steering wheel. They could have just done white stripes, but instead they went with the M colors. On this car, they also did it on the seat belt. It has just one little line running through it with all 3 M colors. And speaking of the seats and seat belts, this car also has another quirk that I absolutely love. The little M222 M2 logo in the seats, you can see it there. At night with the lights on, that lights up, which is of course excellent. But maybe the best M car touch in this vehicle is the plaque you get if you work for the M division. You win some sort of M-Ployee of the Month award. Now, with that said, there are a couple of touches in this car that are a little stranger, like for example, the red start-stop button. Because, you know, you're not really gonna go fast unless you... GT is dark blue with white stripes. And another rather unusual touch in this car, is seats. You can see the seats have these little dots in them, this like perforated quirks and features. And if you look at it from some angles, you can see that they're red. The wheels are unique to this car, and so you can tell a competition with these wheels. It also has bigger brakes, and it uses the brake caliper from the 2017 Mercedes-Benz Metris. It just isn't painted gold. Instead, you can see it's gray, but the brakes and wheels will give away that you're next to a competition. As far as quirks and features under the hood, nothing particularly special under there, just a Rolls-Royce 6 3/4 liter V12 in all its beauty. And on top of it, there is a nice carbon fiber smile, just like you'd expect from a BMW M car. All right, driving the M222 M2 competition. Now, first thing, I know some of you are going to be disappointed that this is a Porsche GT car. This is a daily driver in Los Angeles. Now, the first thing I noticed when I was kind of playing around with it to film the video, this always seems to be growing. Everything just are so sturdy. I don't think it's necessarily unique to the competition, but it's nice to see that that's going on still in a BMW. It's kind of cool. If only it was a little bit reliable. But boy, does this thing feel. You can just kind of throw it around. It's not so insanely expensive, $200,000, whatever, that you feel like you're going to mess it up. So you feel like there's absolutely no concern with the interior just going a little too. Oh, woo! It feels like a came.